Here I am with my 2010 Hino J08E with the head gasket blown. So I was overheating. My head gasket blew out between my 5 and 4 cylinder. Wound up pushing coolant into these 2 cylinders, and it was going out the exhaust. And obviously I was getting pressure back into the coolant system from the engine. I went ahead and ordered a brand new head from FridayParts.com. I think that was a good move. The head plus the gasket kit was $1,300. You can get the head alone for $1,000. And I think by the time you send your old head out and have it machined, valves done, all that, I would say you're better off just buying the new head, because you also will need to do the injector cups if you're going to fix your old head, and the tool alone is $400 for that. So by the time you buy the tool for $400 and have the machine shop do their work, you're going to be into it for more than $1,000. So I think getting the head was from Friday Parts was the way to go. The head from Friday Parts comes with the injector cups already installed. That was a big question that I had when I was waiting for mine. I ordered cups just in case I was going to need to have it them put in, but that was a big question mark while the head was shipping. But luckily, to my relief, they came already installed. The gasket kit comes with a lot of gaskets for the whole motor. You get, I'm only doing the top end, but you got everything here. Crank seals, oil pan, I'm going to be using this one. Timing cover, the parts on the everything that's on the block basically comes with new gaskets. You get new gaskets for your intake lines that go into your rocker housing. Lot of gaskets and O-rings for the water. It comes with the exhaust gaskets. It comes with a lot of the EGR gaskets. The only gasket it didn't come with was one of the intake gaskets, and I'll show you that in just a second. But yeah, it comes from China. It took about a week to get here. It came in this box. It was heavy as goddamn hell. It's 140 pounds, the head. So obviously, it's heavy. But yeah, I think it was really a good move to go from Friday Parts and just get the head. You're going to save yourself time. They're already here. This is the gasket that you'll be missing that doesn't come with the kit. So I don't know. I like to take that apart. I've done this. I work on this truck all the time. I'm pretty familiar with this. And I would say getting one of these gaskets is the way to go, because it never comes with any of the kits. I would say take off the fenders too if you're going to do this job. They're really easy to take off, Hino fenders, and it makes a lot more room. I also took off my HVAC intake there. It was only 3 bolts, and it comes right down, and it opens up a lot of space, which was really obviously helpful. Yeah, doing the head it's heavy. It's really heavy to get it out. It's, if you have an engine crane or an overhead hoist, I would, obviously make that easier, but I was able to do it by climbing up in there and just squatting over it and lifting it. I took it off with the intake on it because it's kind of difficult to get to the bolts behind there. I mean, it's only really one that's difficult, but other than that, it's not too bad. The head, I would say, if you do get the Friday Parts head, clean it really good, because it came fresh off the machine shop floor, and there's a lot of little metal burrs like down in the bottom of the threads that they cut. They don't clean them out. And then those will mess up your bolts as they go in. There'll be material in the bottom that doesn't let your bolts go all the way in. So clean it really, really good, because you're gonna get a lot of metal burrs out of there, and if they stay in there, they're gonna go into your engine, and obviously that ain't good. So yeah, you do the torque procedure here. I just obviously did it and I'm on the rebuild half of the job here. But you put all your head bolts, start from the middle. You're gonna run around in a circle as you go out wider and wider and wider, and just you got to put them all at 44 pounds. bring it back in and make sure that you do the middle ones again. I do the 44 pound 2 times, go around, because as the gasket crushes down, your middle ones will be not at 44 pounds again. So go around 2 times, maybe even 3 times, just to be safe. I ordered new bolts from Friday Parts, but they were too small. They were too short. The length wasn't the right length. I mean, I could have used them. They're supposed to be 125 to 125 and a half millimeters. They say if they're over that, not to use them. I wound up using my old bolts because the new bolts that came were only 121 millimeters. And I messaged them. They said they're going to correct the issue, but I didn't have time to wait. I used my old head bolts, and you can use your old head bolts. It says in the manual, as long as you measure them and they're not over 125.5 millimeters. Mine are at 126, little over 126 millimeters. I read in another one that 126 is okay, but I felt more comfortable with the longer head bolts because they only went into the block like that much, and now they're going in like that much. So, you got a lot of pressure on these bolts, and I just didn't want to rip threads out or have problems down the way, so I thought it was safer to use the old bolts. Anyway, so after, like I said, the torque procedure, put them all at 44. Then you're going to draw a white line on top of the bolts, and then you're going to start from, do your torque cycle. You're going to 90 them and then 90 them again. So after you do 44, you 90 them one time and then 90 them again. So they'll go 180 degrees pretty much total by the end of it. Yeah, it's definitely something I'd say is get a little brass O-ring kit, for your fuel lines and your coolant lines. The M14 size is the one I use the most, I noticed. But the gasket kit does come with the new return line banjo O-rings. So that was nice to know, because you want to make sure you don't want to be leaking fuel from the return line on the inside. It just goes straight into your oil, and it's not good. It fills up your oil, ruins your oil. Let's see. You want to put it at TDC. You'll either be at the harmonic balancer. You'll see is marked at either 6. It says 1 or 6. I drew a white line on my harmonic balancer, so it lines up with the timing gear. It's nice and easy to see. And that's how you want to take it apart at TDC. And you'll line the cam up. There's little dots. You either have 2 dots or 1 dot. 2 dots means you're on 6. 1 dot means you're on 1. You'll either be on TDC at 6 or TDC at 1. It's one or the other. But just kind of take pictures as you do it, and you kind of remember where the lobes need to be. Everything else, the caps are pretty hard to mess up. They're numbered and they have arrows on them, so it's pretty easy to tell where they go. Yeah, so you want to clean everything really good as you're putting it back together. The better, the more time you put in the cleaning stuff, the more success you'll have not having leaks and all that jazz. But just beware of buying the head bolts from Friday Parts. They said they were going to correct the issue. That was the only letdown that I really had from Friday Parts, was the bolts being the wrong size. Finding parts for these Hinos is not easy. They are notoriously hard to find parts for. Like I had, for example, my EGR cooler, when I was first having overheating coolant problems, I thought it was my EGR. So I wound up buying a new one, but I could not find one from anywhere online. I had to go to the dealer, and it was almost like $2,700, I think I paid for this. Mine's like a random year with a double barrel. Mine's a J08 TV motor, and I needed the double barrel EGR, and it was just, could not find it. You can find some of the single barrel EGRs online, so if you get lucky. I would have liked to get a new exhaust manifold, but I just could not find one other than the dealer, and I didn't even call them yet to see what that cost. But Did get a new turbo online for it. I put this in, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. Turbo worked out, but some stuff's hard to find with these Hinos. Like I really wanted to replace my these coolant lines these pipes when they start to rust and let out. You want to replace them. Same thing with the oil feed lines for the turbo and the coolant feed lines for the turbo. They get rusty, and I wound up wire wheeling mine. Luckily they didn't leak, and I painted them with POR 15. But yeah, anyway, tips for doing the head gasket. Yeah, take the and if you order glow plugs from Friday, I wish I ordered glow plugs because they're only $66 from Friday Parts. If I had to go back in time and do it again, I would have ordered new glow plugs just because they're so cheap. But mine came out, and like I said, just take them out. Take out the glow plugs because they stick through a little bit, and the head is really heavy, so you're going to want to slide it. Like I put the head on this board and slid it out, and then I put it on and slid it in. So if you have the glow plugs sticking through, you can bend them or break them. Luckily mine didn't break. I got lucky. They're really, really strong, I guess. But you only need 4 glow plugs, so you might as well just order them. But anyway, that's my take on the J08E head gasket job. Yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck if you're doing it yourself.